Hello, my friend. I have a special invitation for you. I have a new, potent, concentrated group coaching program called Crucible. We begin on April 10th. You can go check out timewitchery.com/crucible, and I'm going to tell you all about it at the end of the show. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Welcome to Mind Witchery. I'm your host, Natalie Miller, and I'm so glad you're here. Hi there. Welcome. You may hear in my voice that I just got out of bed. I got out of bed, I made a cup of tea, and I came downstairs to record this episode for you, partly because I just was inspired to do so. I woke up kind of thinking about the bullet points, and also partly because I'm traveling this week, and so my schedule is a little bit out of sorts already, so why not come down and talk to you first thing in the morning? All right, so today's spell is one that I always knew I would give you. It's one that I use all the time with my amazing clients, many of whom kind of interestingly default to yes or no, black and white thinking. So the sense that it's either this or that. And part of what we do in our coaching work together is help to expand their options, because when you are making a decision or a choice and you are believing that it's either or, yes or no, this or that there are only two options, oftentimes, especially when you are awakening more and more to what you really want, oftentimes neither of those options is perfect. Neither is completely satisfying. So today's spell is a spell for expanding your options. So I think you probably know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about binary, black or white, this or that, yes or no, male or female thinking. I think you know what I mean, but let's have a couple of examples that we can use to illustrate. So one might be for a person who is in a committed relationship. Do I stay or do I go? Do I stay in this relationship or do I leave it? That's binary thinking. It's black or white. Another one might be, let's say, in a business situation. Do I raise my prices or do I keep them the same? Do I raise them or do I keep them the same? The choice is presented, and often we are presenting it to ourselves in a binary format. 2 boxes, and that's it. So the spell for expanding our options is to ask, what's in between? What's in between? In the examples I just gave, here I am, I'm in a relationship, and I'm not happy. I love this person, but I'm not completely happy. And so if I give myself the decision, the choices, stay or go, those are very extreme and concentrated options. And of course, let me be really clear. Maybe one of those more extreme options is the right one. That could totally be the case. And/but. And that's, I know, something I say a lot, but that's something that disrupts the binary, right? and slash but maybe it's difficult to choose between those two options because actually neither option is the one you really want. When I ask myself, okay, what's in between stay or go? What's in between stay or go? What then I have to do is to begin looking at the situation with more nuance, with more complexity, and start really evaluating the various components of the situation. Right? So in terms of relationship, let's say I'm very comfortable with my partner. Let's say we have a well-functioning relationship, especially logistically or in sharing space or in being friends. But let's say that the sex isn't great. Let's say that there's not a lot of maybe shared adventurousness or excitement, and I'm wanting more of those things. Right? So when I look at the relationship in a more nuanced way, I can say, okay, here are the things I'd like to keep. Here are the things that pull me towards the stay side. And then here are the things I'd like to change. Here are the things that pull me towards the leave side. And understanding that, I can think about, okay, so what is in between stay or leave? Well, maybe one thing in between is seeing a sex therapist together. Maybe one thing in between is planning a month-long road trip together. Maybe one thing in between is opening up the relationship so that we both begin to see other partners. There are lots and lots of options that are in between stay or go. If I'm like, okay, what am I really looking for? I'm looking for more excitement, more adventure, better sex. I want those things. Well, what is an option that's between stay or go that would give me an opportunity to get those things? It's funny, I just got this image of a junk drawer that's like overfull, but of useful things. Why do we call it the junk drawer? It's like not junk. There's like super glue in there. Anyway, so you've got your junk drawer that's full of, it's kind of crammed over full. You open it up and you can't find anything. And so imagine if I said to you, okay, well, your choices are keep it how it is or throw the whole thing out. You're like, no, I kind of want to like sort through it. Like, let me fish through it. Let me grab the spare key. Let me get the cuticle nippers. Let me get the super glue. Like, there are things in here that I really want to keep. But then, yeah, there is actually a lot that I would like to let go of. There's a lot that I would like to clear out of here. So the same sort of sorting process or clarification process happens when we move away from the either or choice and into the middle, which is often a messy middle, but it's the middle. Okay, so let's look at the other example I gave you, which is, am I going to raise my prices or am I going to keep them the same? Imagining, okay, those are your two choices. Those are your two choices, Natalie. Either hike up the rates or keep them where they are. And maybe I'm not feeling comfortable completely with either of those. So I'll just ask myself, okay, why? Why do I want to raise my prices? And that could be any number of reasons. I might say, well, I have a really full roster. I think I could charge more. I'm wanting to invest more and more in, extra training or diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives or a team. I want to invest more, and so I want to bring more money in. We'll have all kinds of reasons. Why do I want to raise my prices? And then and look over to the other side and say, okay, why do I want to keep them the same? And then the answer may be something like, well, I don't feel comfortable raising my prices for my current clients. Or the answer may be something like, well, I want to keep my pricing accessible for X population of people. Okay, so when I use the spell for expanding my options, and I'm clearer on sort of the pros and cons, right? Like, okay, well, what are the reasons why? And then what are the reasons why not? Then I can ask myself, okay, so what is in between? Maybe I've become really clear. Yes, the prices need to go up. I want to make more money because I want to be able to be differently in my business. So yes, I want to take my prices up. And so in between might be, okay, I'm going to give my current clients a chance to pre-purchase an extra 3 months at my current price. So I'm going to ease them into the new investment level. An answer might be, to keep my pricing accessible, maybe I designate a certain number of spots that I offer at a lower rate, but then I take my overall rate up. So I can still accommodate some of the people who aren't ready or able to pay a higher price, but at the same time, I do raise my prices so that overall I have a more sustainable and generous income. So again, what's in between? What's in between? How could I have all that I want? Isn't that so delicious and exciting that I don't have to settle for a binary, that I don't have to create a pros and cons list and see which one is longer? Right? I can actually make a pros and cons list and then cherry pick what is most important, tap into my creative power, and make a new choice from there. Oh my gosh. That is just magic. All right. So short and sweet today. A spell for expanding your options. What is in between? What am I imagining are the two ends of the spectrum? And, my friend Leela Sinha introduced me to this idea that, even when we think about a spectrum is still based on binary thinking, right? There's one end over here and one end over there. The better we get at exploring what's in between, the more we can let go of two ends of a spectrum, two choices, black or white, two boxes. And the better we can expand our creativity to explore that whole landscape that is in between. All right, my friends, I am fully awake now. And I hope that this spell has you looking at one of those choices you've been weighing, this or that, either or, yes or no, and wondering how you could create something truly satisfying that is neither of those, and also somehow both. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mind Witchery. To catch all the magic I'm offering, please subscribe to the show. Or if you want a little bit of weekly witchiness in your inbox, sign up for my Sunday letter at mindwitchery.com. If today's episode made you think of a friend or loved one, your sister, your neighbor, please tell them about it. We need more magic makers in this troubled world. Like all good things, this podcast is co-created by stellar people. Our music is by fabulous DJ, artist, and producer Shammy D. Our gorgeous art is by the sorcerers at New Moon Creative. Mind Witchery is produced in conjunction with Particulate Media, K.O. Myers, executive producer. And I am Natalie Miller. Till next time. Hello. As promised, here is a little bit of info about my new group coaching program called Crucible. You know what a crucible is? A crucible is a container in which transformation occurs. It's a strong container, basically like where you melt down metals so that you can make new things. You can make alloys. And my program is called Crucible because it is designed to give you a space where you can summon the courage, the inspiration, the momentum that you need to finally take action on, to finally manifest that thing that you have been wanting to do. And what is that thing? I don't know. That thing might be a new offer if you are an entrepreneur. That thing might be the idea for the book that's been swirling around in your head. It might be an outline for that book. It might be a whole short story. That thing might be a job description for the assistant that you've been wanting to hire. That thing might be your own podcast. Whatever that thing is that you keep thinking, oh, someday I'd really love to make this happen. Crucible says, let's do it now and let's do it together. So Crucible offers 7 weeks of group coaching. Crucible offers insight into how it is exactly that I take an idea and make it real. Right? Now, this is not about me kind of imposing my method onto you, but it is about sparking your own creativity and insisting on a self-honoring way of creating. Yeah? Crucible is about community with other people who are also making it happen. And I cannot even begin to put into words how valuable that is. How much of a difference it makes to be surrounded by other people who are expanding and growing into what's next. Crucible is in large measure about helping you to claim the time and energy that you need to create what's next. And so we'll use my anti-planner, Time Witchery, to do that. We will use co-working sessions that are hosted by Flow Club. I'm very excited about that part in particular. So Crucible is not assuming that you have the willpower and courage and time and energy to make this thing happen. In fact, Crucible says, oh yeah, let's give you a place to generate that, to generate all that you need in order to manifest what it is that you want next. So you are invited. You can go check out Crucible at timewitchery.com/crucible. We begin on April 10th. We go through April and most of May, and then we get to take off for the summer having finally taken action on that thing that you've been toying with, flirting with, wondering about, dreaming about for so long. So again, more details at timewitchery.com/crucible. I super, super hope you will meet me inside.